My story starts in the womb. When I heard the doctor tell my mom-to-be that I was supposed to be born on December 7th, which I believe is Pearl Harbor Day, I said, no way. I'm waiting another 2.5 weeks and I'm going to be born on Jesus' birthday. So I think maybe I always felt, that God was always in my life somehow. And not always that I felt like that close to him all the time, or that I was a perfect child or something, but it was something because when I was born, I had to be put right into an incubator, or some fluid in my lungs or something like that. So my mother was Catholic, so they rushed the priest in and he baptized me Stephanie, because it was right after Christmas Eve, the Feast of St. Stephen's. And then later they flipped a coin and I got Linda. And then at a very early age, though, I started having convulsions and epileptic seizures. So all through my childhood and up to about the age of 25, I would have these things. So,
but that was a bad time to be not perfect.
Yeah.
You were,
but I think that
your mother knew it did something wrong for you to be so picked out by God for disfavor.
Oh, that's why.
I didn't feel so much that way, but I felt that, I really had my guardian angel with me all the time, because I was always going through those things, And then I would always talk with God, and being raised Catholic, though, you talk to Mary. Mother Mary.
She's a good lady.
Yeah. And so I kind of grew up like that, and I don't remember anything in my childhood that was that bad. I stole a cookie from the store one time because I was with my friend and she said, come around here to this aisle because there's a bag of cookies there and somebody opened them up. And we were with my friend's mother, so we were just, young kids. And so I went around and she said, yeah, let's take some. So I took one too, And then we went, and then the mother found out. She scolded us right there in the store. And then another time, this was when I was, I think, a teenager in high school or something like that. My younger sister, Anna, who's going to be on this, Anna, tempted me and said, let's go down to Dayton's. It was one of the department stores in downtown. And let's steal something. Let's shoplift. And I said, I don't know. That's pretty scary. Because I was pretty, very conscientious. Anything that my younger sister tried to get away with, I was so nervous about my mom finding out or whatever, and I got to tell Mom, and no, we can't stay later downtown because we got to get back home, so we better call Mom. So that kind of feeling. Yes. So anyway, we went into Dayton's and we stole, I can't remember what she stole, but I stole this round little plastic canister thing with little magnets, little mouse magnets to put on your fridge. Of all the things that you can shoplift. So anyway, I figured they're small, I could get them in my pocket. I was shaking like a leaf. So besides those two things, I was pretty much a perfect child. And that's why whenever I would go to confess my sins, before going the next day to Mass and getting Holy Communion, you're in there with the priest and you're going like, what did I do? I had to make up stuff. And I don't know why that when you said something that you did wrong, like you disobeyed your parents or whatever, or you fought with your brothers and sisters or whatever, you had to tell how many times you did it. Mm-hmm. So I would be in there, I don't know, let's say 5 on this whole night. I'm going to lose those. Yes. So anyway, that's just some highlights of my youth to get through. And it wasn't until I was out of high school, and then I waited a couple years for my younger sister, Anna, who got me into trouble, to graduate, and then we moved into our first apartment together, which was so exciting. And then her friends came over, and then I had younger brothers too. I had a younger brother who was 2 years younger than me. We were I was the firstborn, then 2 years later Anna, and then 2 years later my brother Bert and stuff like that. So, and then a couple other kids. But his friends would come over, and we'd all be like drinking, and I drank a little bit, you know, and I'd never gotten into like really smoking or smoking marijuana or doing other drugs, and my sister did a little bit, you know, and her friends and my brother's friends. In fact, they knew that I didn't, so they would go get high first and then come over to my apartment with their six-packs and pretend they were drunk. So then they would just like, you know, do their thing at the bar. You know, nothing was ever really bad, you know what I mean? So
Silly kid stuff.
yeah, silly kid stuff. And I remember the next day getting up for work, I'd go into my bathroom, I'd wash my face, you know, I'd grab my towel and go like this, and boom, I got it. Because they would go in there and smoke too, in the bathroom. Think that I didn't know what was going on.
How do you know what it smelled like?
Yeah, I don't know.
You learn.
I got hit with something. But then at that point too, I just stopped drinking at one point, and I never really got that into trouble or anything, or really heavy drinking. One time I just got really sick. I thought, that's it, you know, I can have fun without drinking. You know, so everybody still came over to the apartment with their beer and whatever, and I would go get Kool-Aid. Not soda, not juice. I mean, I had my Kool-Aid, and I had a big pitcher of Kool-Aid, so I'd pour that in, and I would just, you know, have a great time.
Yes.
Then one time, I just really feel that God just protected me all through my life. I didn't get into heavy stuff. And then there was one part where someone from another apartment building actually came into the party. We didn't know him, and he put something into the Kool-Aid. And for some reason, I didn't drink it that night. And then he came back the next day and said, "Did you guys have a nice time with that Kool-Aid?" And then he told us what he put in it, which I don't remember memory of what that was. And I just went, oh my God. Nobody drank the Kool-Aid because everybody was drinking their beer, so I was the only one that would have gotten affected by it. So that's another way I feel my guardian angel and God was really, really trying to protect me and keep me safe, you know. And I gotta say, all that time too, up to a certain point, I was a virgin. And this was really something very, very special to me. My mother really raised me very strictly on that. And she raised us never to lie, and, you know, just be good, you know, as best as we could. And sometimes it was really hard to feel like you were on the right path, or what am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be partying? Am I supposed to, what is my life course, you know? How do I do that with God? So, I did pray a lot, but I was kind of missing something in the church. I would always go to the Catholic church, Catholic Mass and everything. But I felt that there was something a lot more, and there was something that God needed to show me something. And so I was trying to be open to that. And I'm sorry, you're way over there, and I'm talking way over there. Do you guys want to move in or something? So anyway, I had a couple of boyfriends, and then when I got to this one man, then I felt I really loved a lot. I thought it was okay to have sex with him, and I felt really drawn, like I really am in love with this person, and marry this person and everything. And one of the things that, this may sound like funny, but we're there in bed and everything. I'm talking to God. I mean, I really am. I'm lying there talking to God because I really wanted to know, is this okay if you really love this person? Is this okay? Is this action okay? If you really love this person? At that point, I don't know if I got an answer, but apparently now I know it's not okay. So I'm gonna
Life teaches us lessons.
Yes. And then when we broke up, that was the most devastating thing. I never felt that much pain before. I had a couple boyfriends before, and then a couple boyfriends afterwards as well, but I never felt that much pain. And at one point, we kind of got back together, but it was just like nothing. It was just, he was lonely, his other girlfriend was somewhere, something like that, you know. So when I realized that was it, and I was living with my parents again for some reason. So I was back home, and I came out into the front room, and I sat down on the chair, and they were there watching television. I never felt like, I didn't know what it meant to, like, you're going to die from a broken heart. So I felt so much pain in my chest and everything. I thought, I just sat there and prayed, and I said, dear God, don't let me die in front of my parents, because that'll be really bad. So, that would be really bad, and I just sat there like, breathe, you know, just let it pass, you know. So, anyway.
Your mother might ask the corner, is she a virgin?
I don't know. But I know when my mom did find out that I was not a virgin, her heart, I never saw that much pain in a woman's eyes like that. And so I really, really could feel that. And I think that that's the way God feels. You know, when we end up in that situation, and it's such a painful thing in his heart. So anyway, I kind of went along for a while after that. I was still pretty young. I wasn't even 25 yet. And I was really, really searching. And I ended up just making friends with someone in the apartment building that I lived in. And she would go out on the weekends. We'd go like bar hopping, but I wasn't like drinking or anything like that. Just having fun, just to be out. But I kept saying to her, I said, Patty, I know there's something how we're supposed to be living. There's a way we're supposed to be living. You know, more that God knows, but He has to show me what that way is. And so I would out there bar hopping, looking for God's path, or looking for the path to God.
You're supposed to find it, actually.
Yes. So that didn't work too good. So then, at one point, when I was with another boy, and it kind of fell apart, I was back in living out of my own apartment, and it wasn't too far. I could walk to my mom and dad's house. One day, I just really felt a change. Something was going to happen to me. I walked over to my mom's house. I tried to come in and like talk with her, but it was a little strange or something. Or I felt I couldn't reach into her heart, or didn't feel her heart was ready to hear something, you know, because I was still trying to figure it out. And so I just went into my old bedroom and sat down on my bed, and I just started crying and praying and just talking to God. And I just said, Heavenly Father, I can't do it anymore. I was a romantic, and I wanted to fall in love and get married, you know. So, but I said, I can't do this anymore with these boys. And it wasn't everything that I was doing with them that was, you know, wrong and stuff like that, but just the relationships and falling apart. And it just seemed kind of hopeless, and I didn't want it to be hopeless. So when I was praying to God then in my bedroom, I just said, I'm not looking out there anymore. I'm not going out there with anybody. I want you to choose my husband for me. And I really committed myself to that. And so I don't know if it was a matter of months, because I don't remember so good anymore. But I think it was good. I was almost 25. So within a matter of months then, I met the Unification Church. And that's where I got matched to Alex. So God chose my husband for me. So that was my answer to my prayer. I really felt that, you know.